All right, folks, welcome back. You recall last week we had Father Sirico on talking about the impending release of the Pope's encyclical on climate change. And we both agreed that the Pope, has to walk a very fine line and not give either side, of course we knew which side he would give it to, but not give either side in this debate on climate change ammunition to say, see, the Pope, look, the Pope agrees with us. See, now the Pope said it. And now they have the president and all them on the left quoting the Pope, the Pope, the Pope. Well, it's happened. It's happened. And now here the Washington Post, front page, praised the Pope on June 15th and suggested that he could impact environmental policy through his quote-unquote highly anticipated letter to bishops about global warming called the encyclical. And, it's been leaked. And he has come down firmly, in my view, on the side of the radical left. And, we have to save the world and the poor countries and the rich countries and its men and blah, blah. Folks, I got to tell you, and look, I'm not Catholic, obviously, but I've talked to Catholics. I've talked to Bill Donahue of the Catholic League on this show many times and others, and Father Sirico and others. And this Pope is very political. And people have said and claimed that he's vague. And because of his vagueness, which is probably unintentional, he leaves his remarks open to not only interpretation, but exploitation. And I will maintain that he's not being vague on purpose. And now in this case of the encyclical on climate change, he's not being vague at all. He is political. He is mixing politics into his papacy. I really believe that. I think he's pushing an agenda of sorts. And from what everybody tells me, and from my own knowledge of people that I come in contact with, certainly, the people in the pews do not agree with where the Pope is coming down and with what the Pope is doing on many of these issues. So I think that's problematic, and I think going forward it's going to continue to be problematic. Let me tell you about a story here which you may recall back in August of 2013 in Oklahoma City. 22-year-old Christopher Lane, Christopher Lane was murdered. He was an Australian baseball player. He was visiting here in the United States, and he was murdered. He was white and his attackers were not. Okay? Had it been the other way around, had this been a visiting African student, athlete from wherever, and two white thugs killed him, you would know his name, you would know his story, and you would know what just happened. The bored, quote-unquote, Oklahoma teenager who killed this Australian baseball player was sentenced to life in prison. And this is a story that needs to be covered. He shot and killed the baseball player because he and his friends were bored. District Court Judge Ken Graham handed down the punishment to 18-year-old Chauncey Allen Luna after a Stevens County jury convicted Luna of first-degree murder in the August 2013 shooting death of Christopher Lane. He was tried as an adult. Luna told probation officer who prepared presenting the report that he was bored. They said they were bored. So they decided to kill this young man. And that's the culture. That's a culture. And that's a culture that needs to be addressed. You're bored? Let's go kill somebody. Sick. It's very sick. All right, we're coming back. Don't go away.